Hey y'all, this is from the office with Stafford Tiger, and this is case one, ADHD slash ADD. So the reason why I decided to call it ADHD slash ADD is because both diagnoses show the same symptoms. Um, and I want to first start off by talking about my experience growing up with ADD. I think when I was a kid, I had ADHD, I believe, because I remember I couldn't stay still in one spot for too long. I actually am still sort of like that, but I think it's more so ADD, which is attention deficit disorder. Now, my thing is, my experience has been pretty challenging at times because some people's cases are more severe than others. But I was diagnosed as a child, and I remember like the doctor and stuff prescribing me all these different medications and stuff to take, at 10, 11, 12 years old. And I remember it just didn't feel good. I didn't feel good, and I didn't feel healthy. You know what I'm saying? So I remember telling my mom, I said, I don't think this is working. I need to kind of maybe just try to learn how to overcome this mental disability on my own. Excuse me. Um, but I do know that like I do have this thing with excessive talking, and I also my attention span is good, but at the same time, if it's something that I'm not really interested in that I need to do, like if it's a school subject or something that I notice that I have to work harder to like pay attention and concentrate, and that's been a challenge for me over the years. But that's part of the reason why I started this whole podcast was to talk about things like this, because there are a lot of people out there that have these different mentally challenged behaviors. And we all it's something I tell people all the time, there's something wrong with all of us in one way or another. We all have something that we're trying to overcome or something that's challenging. So that's why I come in. So the proof was when I got to college, because I remember after I graduated high school, I was so terrified because I was surprised I even like graduated and everything. I passed all my classes and stuff because things were challenging for me and it was hard, and I had to really, really. I always felt like I had to work three times as hard as some of the other kids to try to progress or to at least get 70% correct. So I think in that case, I always kind of felt mediocre in a way, but I knew that I could turn it around. So when I got to college, I remember I was working part time and I was taking like four classes, and I just for the life of me, I it was so hard to keep up. Y'all know how you run like on a treadmill or something, or you're trying to run towards something, but it's like getting away from you. That was how it felt. It's like that whole semester was hell. Like I was no good when the holiday season came and the semester was over, and I passed every single class except for math, which is the one class that was always my like wasn't really one of my best subjects. So I had that, plus I had to work, and my job at the time was very easy because I was 18 and I worked at a grocery store. I used to stack the groceries and stuff. That was real easy. I stayed there for about a year, and after that it was time for me to move on. Sometimes you're like, oh, I hate it here. I need to move on. So I did that, but I just noticed. I remember when I was in school. I remember just having well, I'm in school now also, but at the time, I'm saying when I recognized that I really did, have attention deficit. I remember just having these scattered thoughts. Like when I was hanging out with my friends and we were talking, sometimes it would be hard for me to stay on subject because I would ramble instead of just staying like straight lace on subject with what everyone was talking about. So that was something that I noticed. And I also noticed just kind of like when I was in class taking like when I was doing math and stuff, I remember watching the teacher and it was just kind of like I had to keep telling like, hey, I had to keep snap like stay focused. Because it was boring and it was slow and she talk all slow and stuff and all of that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then guess how long we were in this math class? 1 hour and 30 minutes. I was sitting in that chair at the computer. Not my thing, but That led to me procrastinating a lot. I mean, I don't blame anyone but myself that I didn't pass because I could have done things a little differently, and that was when I learned my lesson the hard way. But I remember I would procrastinate a lot, and then I would do the homework at the last minute. But what led to me procrastinating, you guys, was because I knew I knew that things were hard. If something is really, really hard for me, one thing about me, I've always been hell bent on being a perfectionist. If I felt like I was going to fail something, or if I wasn't going to get it 100% right and get it perfect that first or second time, I'm like, what's the point of me trying? Because I'm just going to feel like a failure. And that's something that I had to learn to grow out of, because if you want to be an example one day to other people, or you want to be able to give advice, you need to make sure that you're walking in your truth and you're walking in what you're giving out to others, because otherwise either A, they're not going to take you seriously, or you're just going to be basically practicing hypocrisy because you can't do it yourself, but then you are telling everyone else to stay focused and that tomorrow is promised and whatever it is that they want to do. So I had to work like hell to overcome this learning disability I had, but I've been doing good at it. And which brings me to my next, segment is advice. For those of you out there that have an issue with procrastination, you have ADD, ADHD, you have dyslexia, you have any type of diagnosis, or anything that you're dealing with that's a threat to your success, I want you to know that you can still be successful. I have a family friend right now who he has a very, very, very strong case of ADHD, but he went to college, he went to university. I think he has 2 or 3 degrees, and he's very successful. So it's doable. So I ask that you all hear me when I say that whatever it is that you're going through, your brain can still be powerful. No, really, it is. The brain is a very, very powerful organ. That's why whenever you guys hear someone say a mind is a terrible thing to waste, it's true, because there are so many things that you can do with your mind. Those of you who are on the spectrum of autism, who have dyslexia, ADD, ADHD, and there are a lot of different forms of learning disabilities out there. But what you guys need to realize and remember is that you are still special. You're special and you matter. And do you know why? You have this, but you can make this beautiful and make it work in your favor. There, one thing we forget about is we can tap into certain parts of our brain that other people can't, who don't suffer from these disabilities. It's very possible. So what I did was, what I started doing when I got to be about maybe 24, 25 years old, I said to myself, I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to just make every day count. And that meant me being on a schedule, even on the weekends. When I would get up, I would work out in the morning or I work out in the evening. I have a planner that I use to this day. I would write down everything I have to do for that day, that week, that month, and I will sort it out day by day. Like, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. Tomorrow I'll do this and this. Or I gotta go to work, then I gotta go to school. Then when I come home, I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be in bed by this time, and whatever I could finish, I will do tomorrow. So that's a way to control your whatever it is that you guys are dealing with. Staying organized, staying focused, and just taking it day by day. Whatever it is that you're dealing with out there, I know that it's not easy at times. And unfortunately, we do live in a world where everyone's not going to try to understand. But guess what? Even if they don't, so be it. You can still make it. You can stand tall. And who knows? You could become more successful than those people that are doubting you, or saying that you ain't good enough, or that, oh, you're because that's what they like to tell us. Oh, you're not smart, you're not as smart as the other kids, or you're not as bright, or basically calling you stupid. Basically, I've been there, so I know exactly what it's like. You don't have what it takes to go to college. You're not ready for college. You're not ready for this. That's not true. You can be ready for anything that you practice, prepare, and make yourself ready for, no matter what anyone else says, because guess what? They don't live inside of you. They don't have your brain. They're not dealing with what you deal with. But you just still need to know that you are capable. So whatever spiritual, healing that you need to do, or meditation, prayer, you do that. But within that, you make sure that you tap into yourself and that you never, ever, 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 ever become unfamiliar with you. What you need to become unfamiliar with is the you can't do this and you can't do that. That's what you need to become unfamiliar with and do it. It's very doable. Okay. And the solution is staying organized, getting a schedule. Also, what I do is meditation. I pray. I work out like crazy. Working out helps a lot too. It helps keep me centered and keeps my thoughts, centered and everything. So those are also things that you can do. But there are really, really great people out here that have ADHD, ADD, or any other type of learning disability or handicap. Don't let it stop you. Okay, please. You can do it, okay? And anytime you feel down, you come back and you listen to this episode, case one. But just know that I hope that you guys hear me and just know that you can make it and that it's possible that you can change this world or take this world by storm and have an amazing life just like the next person. I don't know if you noticed, but even me, it took me a while to start this podcast because um like I stumble, I stutter on my words a little bit. My thinking is a little scattered at times when I'm doing something because I want to get everything out. But the way that my brain works, and anyone that does suffer from any type of, I don't want, I keep saying suffer. I don't mean suffer, but like anyone that has or been diagnosed with anything, like my brain is a, like a freeway, like many highways all together. So it's kind of like all of these different turns and swirls and stuff. And I'm like, I just go into all these different tunnels and pathways just to try to get to the end. So sometimes it sounds like I'm rambling or I don't know, like I'm over talking, or excessively talking, which does happen sometimes, but it's only because I'm trying to get everything out. But that is something that I'm working on as well. But yeah, just stay organized, you guys. Take it one day at a time. Sit down, plan, plan, plan. Stay organized, stay disciplined. Don't say anything but positive things to yourself, okay? Don't say anything but I can, what you will do, what you can do, what you're doing tomorrow, what your dream is, what your goal is, and you just check it off one by one. Like Kill Bill when she was taking everybody out, like how she crossed them off one by one as she achieved what she was trying to do till she got to Lucy Liu at the end. Do it, yeah. All of those goals you have, think of it like that. It's like a hit list of goals. Check, I did that one. Check, I slayed that one. Check, I killed that one. I got it. Yeah, do it like that, okay? So until next time, I just want to say that I wish you guys well and just remember the power is within you. So stop giving it to other people, all right? So enjoy the rest of your day, night, morning, week, or whatever, okay? Thank you.